Shaun, thank you for joining the show.
Thanks for having me on, Edward. Happy to be here.
You sent me a really cool, just interesting thing that I don't know if I've heard before. There's a fierce debate in search engine optimization about freshness. And you did this wild experiment, and the results were very surprising. Though, I mean, what you did was surprising, and yeah, the results were surprising.
Yeah. So I have a SaaS client who they're an interesting client. I do ongoing blogging for them. I had for a couple of years. They have no appetite for doing any kind of 101 style content. They only want to own their niche. The trouble is their niche doesn't have a lot of keyword search. So I have to get creative. I have to get crafty. I have to try to own every keyword that they want to go after. And so in March of 2024, I put out a blog. It was going after one or two keywords that had around a keyword difficulty score of like 56 or 60 in SEMrush. They had the topical authority, so we had a chance. And so I put it out. Unfortunately, a year goes by. I do my end of the year content purge, and I realized it doesn't rank for anything. So I was like, all right, I still have faith in this blog. I'm going to make some updates. So I put it out in March of 24. I made some updates in August of 24, changed some things around. It was really just like updating the dates for 2025, looking ahead. That was pretty much it. I post it, I forget about it. And now come October 2025, I look again and it still ranks for nothing. I still believe in it. I want to give it one more chance. And I've been hearing, like you have, that, freshness is king. LLMs like freshness. Everybody says your content has to be fresh. And so I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what if I make this blog look like it was written in the future? And so I updated the entire blog. I changed the dates. Any mention of 25, I changed it to 26. And I put in the intro, blog was updated April 2026. Put publish, forget about it. And then I'm doing reports in December and I look and I see, and this blog now, it went from ranking for 0 keywords to 14 keywords, 5 on page 1, and I earned 2 SERP features. And I was like, right?
Wow.
So I post about it on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, nobody really picks it up until you did. And I was like, yes, thank you. I want to talk about this.
I want to talk about the crazy. So okay. Like all you did, so you had this page.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. When you published it with a future date, did you change the URL or anything? Did you add anything to the page?
So
did you make any extra internal links to it?
So I figured you were going to ask that. So I went back and I looked in depth. I did realize I updated one single external link, and the anchor text said it was like industry data, and it was referencing data from 23. I did change it to reference data from 25, but nothing else was changed. So
wait, sorry. It was a link on the page that was outbound. It was an outbound link from the page.
Correct. To a website that was referencing 2023 data. I used the same website and I referenced 2025 data.
You just wanted to have like a fresher outbound link.
Correct. That was and then I changed any mention of 2025 to 2026.
Yeah.
That's all I updated. Didn't change the URL, didn't change anything else. And then I put in the intro, updated April 2026, push publish.
And so like, if you view the page source, the date published is a future date.
No, so that's the thing. I didn't change the date published. I just wrote in there, updated April 2026.
What does it say? So what does the date published say?
The date published says the date that I audited it in October.
Can I see the URL? Can I see this while we're doing this?
I don't want
to share your screen. Oh, you don't want to share the client. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after, just because it's a very competitive niche and I don't want people to go after it. So I'll share it offline, but I don't want to make it public.
Okay. So no, it's all good. So I want to understand this, because I'm sure that people are gonna try to do this themselves. They're gonna be like, that sounds crazy. I want to try this. So like because you can republish, you can update a blog post, and then when you update it, you can update the date published to be current.
Correct.
So you didn't, and I actually, within the CMS, if it's WordPress, I don't even know.
It is WordPress.
I haven't tried to do that. Yes, I don't even know if you can change the date published to a future date, because it might. I don't believe
you can.
Yeah. So you said you didn't change the date published at all. It was it was originally published in 2024. So was that date published 2024? Did you update it to 2025?
I did, yeah. So I made 2 changes in August of 2024. I changed the date published in WordPress to that date. And then I changed it again in October to October 2025. But I wrote in the description, updated April 2026. And if you search that term, it shows up in the metadata, updated April 2026.
You mean in the snippet? It shows
in the snippet.
It says
correct.
that's crazy. So in the SERP, it says updated in the future.
Yes.
That's crazy. Oh my God. I wish you could share this. That's too bad. Oh my gosh. This method of marketing is so effective, I had to make sure it wasn't against Google's rules before I kept doing it. It's a form of SEO I call compact keywords. Whereas most SEO focuses on putting up articles to answer questions how, what, when, compact keywords focuses on putting up dozens of pages that sell to searchers who are actually looking to buy. These pages rank on Google and convert so much better than normal that when I discovered this years ago, I couldn't believe this was allowed. It's less work too. The average compact keywords page is only 415 words. Compact Keywords is a 13-hour deep course on getting sales with SEO. A customer recently said, "Each lesson is dense with information. You're giving years worth of experience boiled down into 15 to 30-minute lessons with no filler or fluff. I feel like I'm gaining a new superpower." Compact Keywords is about setting up an SEO funnel that brings you sales for years and years and years. It works with AI, it's less work than traditional SEO, and it makes way more money. You can get it now at compactkeywords.com. Back to the podcast. Okay, so you said date published 2025. It says now, okay, how exactly did you put the updated in like the future date?
I put it in my LinkedIn post there. It just says, so I wrote in August, updated August 2024. I left that as is, and I put a little arrow, and I just wrote updated April 2026 right next to it.
But
which
I mean,
again is like
it was like
nonsense.
Paragraph text. Was it bolded?
Paragraph text right at the top of the article.
Yeah, and it was just a single line. Was it bolded or was it just like normal?
Single line, no bold, just normal, no structured data, nothing.
Wow. And so that's amazing.
It was just a silly test. It was, I believed in this article. It scored well in SEMrush scoring. I did it was mostly manually written. I had some really good external sources. I believed that it was a good article, and I just kept making small changes. And then people keep saying freshness is king. It's all
Let me
about
ask you
being
this.
Fresh. Yeah.
After every change that you made, you always submitted it to Google Search Console, correct?
Same day. Yep, right away.
And so the only difference when you submitted it to Google Search Console this time was again that you changed this outbound link to be more current, and then you literally wrote, you didn't change the date published. You just wrote at the top of the article that it was updated in the future.
Correct.
Man, that's crazy. And this is even reflected in the SERP.
It is. It's funny.
How long is the article? Oh, what were you going to say?
I don't have that, but I can give that to you offline. But if you also search with quotes updated 2026, the blog feed shows up in the SERP, and then my author page that has that also shows up in the SERP. So it's got 3 different places where it shows up.
How long have you been doing SEO for?
About 10 years.
Okay. So have you seen something like this before?
No, and it's funny. I've always been like, I don't like to be told what to do. I've always had this like internal, like, I don't like best practices. It's boring. And I love the stories of like, we did this thing crazy and it worked. Those are the things that I gravitate towards. And so I've always tried to figure out like, all right, you say that it should be done this way. What if I try this other thing? Let's see how it goes. I loved how you posted about AI Invest. I've been obsessively watching them ever since I saw that. It's crazy that they're meeting EEAT with these fake authors essentially, but it seems to be working. Obviously they
got hit. No, yeah, they got hit. They got hit by the August spam update.
They are now
actually, they're down below where they were before the June update.
I haven't looked lately, but they were still getting traffic.
But they're not
down
to zero. They're still getting hundreds of thousands of clicks a month.
It's wild, right?
Yeah. I mean, people blame me for that, which I don't think is right because it wasn't a manual action. It was because I was sharing them a lot. It wasn't a manual action. It was like the August spam update was made to go after sites like that.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
even how many sites like that even exist? It's like it was
A good
entirely
amount.
written by AI though.
There's a good amount of SEOs who are trying to game this, who are trying to game Google like that. There's a lot of SEOs who are doing that. And to their point, there were like elements of it that were human written. Like a lot of it was it had like a thorough template. I think they probably had like multiple AI models reviewing the articles before they were published. Like they did a lot of good stuff. It's just like, as like a human, a searcher myself, I don't want unedited or like not proofread AI generated financial news. That's dangerous.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to make trading decisions based on that. But so this article, it was like just a normal blog post. How was the rest of the site's pages doing?
So again, the site pretty much owns the niche. Again, there's not a lot of search.
Yeah.
I would say most of the keywords are 100 or less searches per month. A lot of the KDs like 30 to 60. We rank top 3 for most of the keywords that they want to rank for. In 2024, we did a lot of YouTube videos, so we show up in a lot of those top 3 YouTube. If you search directly in YouTube for a lot of niche related searches, we show up. So they have really great topical authority. The topical clusters are usually around pretty similar software plus niche based things. And this was one of those as well.
Have you tried this for any other pages?
I haven't. That's why it was just like me kind of being a rebel. Yeah. Like, why isn't this ranking? Let me just try something completely random.
It's very cool. And okay, so did you believe in freshness as like, I don't know about like say like a ranking factor. Like I don't know if I would like say it like that, but I would say that like I personally believe that like look, Google tries to mimic what searchers want. What do searchers want? Fresh content. Like you want information that is up to date. So like why wouldn't Google favor that? So let me ask you, did you believe that before this experiment, and then after this experiment, like has your perception on freshness changed at all?
So first of all, I agree with you. I think it really just comes down to, if I'm going to search, I want the most relevant answer. And so this was, again, I don't think I was even trying to rank. I was just kind of doing something in a last ditch effort. Like, all right, I'm probably going to delete this effort, or I'm probably going to delete this article in 2026. Let me just try this thing. And so now that it's popped off, or at least it's starting to rank, especially for good keywords on page 1, I think I have to make a new A/B test going forward. So I can't fully answer your question until I can see if this happens again.
I wonder how a searcher is going to feel when a searcher comes to this page and then they see that it's updated in the future. They'll probably just think that it's a typo.
Exactly. And that's what I thought too. So it's not really affecting anybody. We haven't gotten any feedback about the article. It is driving some traffic.
It's also interesting that you literally just put it as like a single paragraph line at the top of the post, but like I guess below the article, be below the author, below the original date published, which says, you said it said 2025?
It does.
Yeah, below that original date published, updated to 2026. And whether you didn't bold it, like, it's just the easiest thing that you can do this in 15 seconds. This is hilarious. So many people are going to try this. I'm surprised that nobody picked up on it when you shared it on LinkedIn.
I was too. So if anybody does this and it works, please tag me. I really want to see what this looks like.
Share it. I like, if you could come on the podcast and share it too, because like this is like very funny. Okay, so I guess like was it like a skyscraper article, or was it just a normal blog post, run of the mill?
It was just a run of the mill, just a discovery type keyword.
Wow. And yeah, I don't know if I have any more questions about it. You did like one thing that you didn't expect to work, and like, oh my gosh, you've done so. You were tested. You were messaging me. You tested some other things. Yep. You were like looking at AI overviews, and what are you seeing with AI overviews?
So it's funny. I work, my 5 to 9 is with Haley Marketing Group. We are staffing and recruiting industry marketing agency. And so a lot of our clients lately are, they want more visibility into, hey, this AI thing is here, AI mode and AI overviews are important. How are we doing? And so we as an agency use SEMrush and SE ranking, and you can get the reports of, here's the SERP results that you have, here's the AI overviews that you rank for, but it's missing the fact that now YouTube videos show up as AI overviews. I've seen TikTok videos and Facebook groups and social posts show up there as well. How do you track that and how do you report on that? Because our clients are asking about it all the time. And so first thing I did was I went to chat, I went to Perplexity, I asked the question, and they're basically like, it doesn't exist yet. And so I saw a couple days ago, Google Search Console rolled out that they have the social media now embedded in there. It's only
It's beta.
Yeah, it's in beta. I don't have access to it yet, so I haven't seen it. But even if that's the case, how are they going to be tracking that data? For example, a lot of folks may have, or a lot of companies may have a YouTube company page that doesn't have the same name or same brand. So how is that information feeding into Search Console? Do you have to manually create the integration? What does that look like? And again, how do we track this? Like, where do I start? And I don't know. I don't have the answer. That's why I brought it to your attention. Like, have you seen anything? Because I don't know about anything that exists currently to pull this off.
A few companies are working on it and they've messaged me about it, but I don't remember them off the top of my head. But I mean, this is something that's it's been happening for a while. Social posts showing in AI overviews. Like, and honestly, like it makes so much sense. And I guess my follow-up question for you is, and I can say what I've done, but what are you doing to optimize for it?
So that's the thing. We don't really have a lot of data at Haley Marketing. We do offer social media management. We offer SEO, but we haven't really been able to marry them. I haven't been able to create SOPs because I can't fully report on them. I can't pull, I can't pull competitor analysis data and say, here, competitor is winning AI overviews with this type of content. Let's, do that better. That doesn't exist for us. So we're kind of operating in silos right now, and I'm really trying to fix it. I've been trying to fix it for months.
What AI reporting tools are you using?
I tried the SE ranking one. I did not like it at all. I have the SEMrush one that I'm using for a couple clients. The thing I also hate about it though is outside of AI overviews, if you're working with a brand that has a very general keyword, I don't think it's ideal for you. And I don't know if it's really built for you yet. So for example, if you are a company like Main Street Ice Cream or Premier Financial Analyst, your brand is essentially a keyword. And so a lot of these softwares are really saying like, here's your brand voice or your brand vision based on that keyword. But if your brand is a general keyword, it's like, I don't believe in the data.
All of the top SEOs complain about AI reporting tools and don't even rely on them a lot. I had on Jake Hundley yesterday, and he was saying like he doesn't care about it at all. He doesn't pay attention to it at all. And like his results are stellar. He's like, he knows what's up. There's just a lot of problems with it. I'm always seeing how many problems there are with AI reporting tools. And honestly, my personal opinion is like, I don't really care. First of all, query fanouts are always changing. Second, like you should do tests to see if your pages are showing up in LLMs. And then it's very easy. Look at the keywords that you are showing up in position 1 for on Google, and then do prompts in AI to see if you are showing up for those searches. And then if you're not, look at the query fanouts and try to figure out why you are not. Maybe the query fanouts are actually like different keywords than what you used. So you need to take these query fanouts and then like put an H2 on the page that should be ranking, create a new page for it. But with social is amazing, and I think it's so easy. A lot of people like to refer to it as parasite SEO with social, but that's only if you're doing it anonymously. It's like you can, and 1000% should be targeting your keywords with video, with I've been saying this for a long time, with Facebook posts, with LinkedIn posts, with X posts, with threads, all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, all of this stuff. And you know what? There should be an AI tool that unifies all of your socials together to show what is showing up, and that can do a good job of that within LLMs. But like, and then you actually say the terms in the video, and you say the terms in the expos and all this stuff, and you put it at the beginning of the content and at the beginning of the description on YouTube and the beginning of the title and all this stuff. Are you doing that? Are you doing that?
So in addition to my 9 to 5, I have a 5 to 9, Shaun Savvy. I have a small boutique marketing agency. Mostly I deal with wedding venues. So with them, cool. Of course, it's one of the most important things. Best wedding venue in insert geo here. That's usually one of the most popular. And then it's usually like best venues, best outdoor venues. So yeah, if you have those videos on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, and the words that you say in the video and the description that you use have the keywords, yeah, it's a game changer. Most wedding venues don't even understand the value of that. But it's wild. And again, it's like these AI platforms are pushing you to try to focus on your brand, but I don't think that's it. It's what you said. It's your visibility. It's trying to bring the external sources into one main platform to really get the big picture. If somebody creates that, it's going to be a game changer for everybody, for businesses, for agencies, for literally everybody.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more like that from Google Search Console in the next year. And here's why. Like socials showing up in the SERPs is not going away. In fact, it might even become more dominant because getting your answers from a TikTok is way more engaging and way faster than getting your answers from a long form blog post. That is just the reality. And there's more and more content being put out. So I have no doubt that social is going to show up more in the SERPs, and Google has to do something about that because Google knows that your brand isn't just on a website. It's across all these different platforms. That's why it's showing up YouTube. So in the future, maybe you can connect your Instagram, maybe you can connect your X, maybe you can connect your Facebook. So I wouldn't even be surprised if we see that from Google Search Console in the future. But you can easily optimize for it right now. Also, I think it's cool that you're doing SEO for wedding venues.
Yes.
I really love SEOs who narrow down on a specific niche. I like, because there's so much. That's what Jake Hundley was doing yesterday. He came on, we talked for like 3 hours unexpectedly, and he's doing SEO for lawn care, lawn care, like pest control businesses, something like that. But he just really narrowed down on his niche. And there is a crazy TAM, a crazy total addressable market for that. Same with wedding venues. Crazy total addressable market for wedding venues. And by specifically narrowing down to this niche, it makes it so much easier for you to convert and then get referred and get found. It's so smart. I'm such a fan of it.
Appreciate that. And it's funny. It's kind of like, that's why I'm drawn to you and your content. For me, I've grown my business only by referrals. I haven't done a single marketing, any effort. And so now I'm kind of figuring things out. Like, all right, I think it's time to really get into this. You've been doing this podcast, 900 straight days? Insane. You've been posting on social for however long, years and years and years.
Yeah, 1,150 days.
Yeah, so you've inspired me. So looking ahead, I'm going to be doing that as well. And it agreed. There's not a lot of people specifically talking about SEO for weddings. I'm your guy, so I'm going to keep staying that route. But again, on my
what does a keyword look like SEO for weddings or SEO for are you doing it for both weddings and wedding venues, or just for weddings, or just for wedding venues?
My favorite type of clients are ones that usually have a place to stay, especially in areas where people will drive 2, 3, 5, 6 hours. So destination type weddings. So you can do local SEO, plus you can do feeder market SEO. So destination weddings within 6 hours of insert geo here, stuff like that works. I like doing secondary type content like dog-friendly wedding venues or dog-friendly lodging, stuff like that. So it's really just kind of thinking about, and again, it's using TikTok a lot for a lot of research. whatever pops up there, if you get 3 million views, you know it's going to work. And so I do the research then in SEMrush.
Wait, talk about that. So you
Yeah.
see a video that gets 3 million views on TikTok, and it's the video content is what?
It depends. Like, so I have clients in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I pick and choose some of the clients, and I say, look, this video popped off. You don't have a page on your site. I did a search. Only one DJ is the only person who has a listicle that has anything to do with this. Do you want to make a piece of content about this? And usually it's yes. And it's just as simple as a blog. Most of these KDs are 30 or less. Most of these wedding venues don't even realize that this is an opportunity to really capture and show up on page 1 of Google. Plus, marry it with a YouTube video and other social channels as well. You now have 2, 3, 5 assets that can show up on page 1 of Google.
Are you doing Google Business Profiles?
I don't. No, I stay in my lane. I can do it, but I don't prefer to do it.
Do you think it would make a difference?
So I gain access to all of my clients' Google Business Profile. I advise them to always respond to every single comment. I make sure that, we watch make sure your description is fully filled out. Make sure that when you're responding to comments, make sure you're saying things like, I know you have a lot of choices when you're looking for wedding venues in Charlotte, North Carolina, blah, blah, blah. So, keyword stuffing naturally. But yeah, no, in terms of like strategy or using software to track, I don't do that currently.
Yeah. But it's just interesting. I'm wondering what searchers are coming across. Are they coming across the Google Business Profile, or are they coming across the pages on the wedding venue when they're looking with which venue to go with?
A lot of the AI overviews are showing content on sites. Again, like I mentioned, like if they're looking for, Vegas lodging venues or outdoor barn venues, usually the content is what shows up ahead of everything else.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. And then you told me that you were testing FAQs for a franchise client.
Correct. So on the Haley marketing side, we're trying to develop our SOPs internally for, a lot of our clients on the Haley side are small businesses. They're small staffing firms, 10 people or less. They're family owned. They may not have a lot of resources in the marketing side. So they rely on us to do most things. But, a lot of them who are interested in growing their business and kind of doing things to supplement what we do, they start to do research, they start to read. And a lot of what people are saying is make sure you have FAQ. So when they hear that, most of our clients are saying to ChatGPT, write 10 FAQs, and then they add that to their site. And they're like, why isn't it working? Why am I not ranking? And it's like, well, there was no intent. So you didn't do any research. If I run your page now through scoring, you've actually hurt your page by doing that. And so instead of saying that over and over and over, I was like, why don't we just start doing some tests so that we can actually show the real data, the real results? So first one I did in October was for, like you said, a franchise client. We added 10 FAQs to the page. We asked, we have GPTs internally that we use to kind of build content or structure or help kind of frame the structure. So I used that and I said, this is the page. Here's the keywords that it ranks for. Write me 5 FAQs. I got those. And then I used regular expression regex data from their page as well. Looked for queries that looked like they were actually a part of the discovery process. And we added those as FAQs. So there was 10, 5 from chat, 5 from Google Search Console. And 2 months later in December, 3 of 5 from Google Search Console show up in AI overviews. 0 of the 5 from chat show up. So that shows you, like, if you're just making things up or you're just asking AI without having real quality prompts, just having FAQs isn't enough. They have to be actually helpful FAQs.
So all of them were made by ChatGPT.
The first 5 were.
The first 5, and then the second 5 were human written and informed by Google Search Console data.
Correct. So I was using regular expression. So I forget the code, but it's the one to show you 9+ word queries. So I used that. I got 250 or so, and I went through them deep, and I looked for ones that were what kind of questions are people asking where this page is being shown up or this is being served up.
Can you give an example of what a ChatGPT FAQ was looking like and what the human written FAQ was looking like? You don't have to you could try to make it up on the spot.
Yeah, the ChatGPT one were just not optimized for SEO. So instead of saying things like, does company X do Y? It would be like, do you offer this thing?
So the ChatGPT, you're saying that the ChatGPT one wasn't, it was just creating questions on its own without any keyword data.
Correct. And the reason I did that is because, again, it's a lot of our clients were doing stuff like that. And so
okay, so then of course the FAQs that are targeting keywords are going to do better. But my question is, so the answer portion of that question, that was human written as well, or you had ChatGPT writing that?
Well, it's a mix of chat and Perplexity. So ChatGPT was the 5 questions were unedited. Just, hey, chat, give me 5 FAQs, got them, add them to the site. The other one was my intentional method of ChatGPT with the data. Let's write it. All right, I'm going to refine it. I put it into Perplexity. I bring it back, and then I added that to the site.
Was that surprising to you?
Not really, no. But it was just, again, it was trying to get data points just to show clients like you have to stop at scale adding FAQs that are unintentional because it's not helping your site. And so then I guess the one thing I wanted to kind of bring up or ask you is, what are you using or what have you seen other people use to write FAQs?
Perplexity, ChatGPT, but it's like, it's just informing yourself with keyword data. You could actually use query fanouts. You get a list. Also, you get a list of FAQs. So I don't do a lot of FAQs because I think it's a waste of time. I focus on bottom of funnel keywords where there's real purchase intent. But like they look for synonyms, they find things that have volume. Again, they're looking at Search Console data. But like, yeah, my personal opinion on FAQs is it's like max out your bottom of funnel pages before you even worry about something that has such low conversions.
The reason we're focused so heavily on this is, as a franchise, that is one of the metrics that's one of the things. It's one of their most important KPIs.
But I mean, if it's branded FAQs, that's different.
It is.
Branded FAQs are very important.
Yes.
Brand FAQs are extremely important. I mean, you hear what customers are saying, you hear what questions they have, you make, like, of course you should be doing stuff for that. Actually, my question is, are you making specific pages for each FAQ?
So yes, they do have those. And again, the whole point of this was we have junior SEOs executing on some of these accounts. We have, clients asking lots of questions. We don't really have good SOPs in place currently to kind of write out, this is how it should be done. And so over the past 6 months, that's what I've been working on. Search Console is one of the best places to get the data. Answer the Public I've used. It's fun to get some answers there. SEMrush,
is good.
Yeah, competitor gap analysis, and then just like you said, internal data. Is there questions on reviews that you can look at? Are there sales call logs that you can pull? Chat logs if you have an AI chatbot, stuff like that. It's interesting. It's
you know what a cool tip is. So I got this from Matthew Stafford, who's a CRO guy, conversion rate optimization guy, and he has like 300 stores in his community. So he learns a lot. He came on my show, gave me like that episode with him made me so much freaking money because I went and implemented everything that he told me afterwards. And my first question to him was, what should every business be doing for conversion rate optimization that nobody does? And he's like, right after somebody purchases, you give them a question right after they purchase. And you say, what was the one thing that nearly stopped you from buying? And then so from doing that alone, I heard all these different things that I didn't have FAQs for. And I take these things and you put them at the top of the FAQ sections, or you move them up higher on the page. And it's like something like that. And then you do like a 8 or 9 question survey afterwards, and you reward people for filling out the survey. And also, what's crazy is if you reward people for filling out the survey with like a gift card to like your future products or just any products in your catalog or services in your catalog, and you get like money off, those people who fill out the survey and who get the money off, they come and they buy more from you, which is, so they fill out the survey and then they give you more money.
That's fantastic.
And they give you all this information that you can use to make FAQs.
I'm going to test that on the staffing side. It's funny because there's just, an inherent hesitancy. Most of the, country and world doesn't really love staffing. It's a very small niche thing. That's great. That's a really great part of the discovery process. I'm going to look to test that.
Yeah. Oh, surveys, like, oh my God. But just that one question afterwards, like just saying, what's the one thing that nearly stopped you from buying or converting or anything, you will learn and it's so easy for people to do, and you will learn so much. Oh my gosh. And then what happens too is, so you hear things, you hear like the same thing over and over again. So you make an FAQ thing on it, you put in your FAQ section, then you stop hearing that, and then you hear something different, and you just slowly move down this list. Yeah, it's great. I'm a fan of it.
Love that too. Question for you, randomly out of left field. So you have a great SEO. You've grown your Instagram. It is a huge source. Your YouTube's great. What made you shift focus and look at LinkedIn?
Oh, because you see me. Yeah. Well, dude, that's a fun conversation. It's okay. So a friend of mine he shared, I got so lucky, man, because I saw that a friend who I hadn't talked to in a while had shared on LinkedIn that he started posting randomly with a previously dead account. So he had his account on LinkedIn. He didn't post with it for years. So it's basically a dead account. Didn't post with it for years. And then he starts posting, I think he said 5 times a day with an account just out of nowhere. Imagine going from 0 to 5 times a day. On most platforms, that looks like suspicious behavior. Like, what is going on here? And he sustains that for a week. And in a week, he gets 12,000 impressions, nearly 12,000 impressions with an account that 1 week ago was dead. And with most other algorithms, you will set off a red flag if you do that. But on LinkedIn, no. And so I read this post. I'm like, that's remarkable. And then I say to myself, I wonder how many impressions I'm getting. And so I go, how many weekly impressions I'm getting. He got 12,000, posting 5 times a day. I've been posting 1 time a day, just taking my videos that come out on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. The same video comes out everywhere. I've also put it on LinkedIn. And I'm like, let me see how many impressions I'm getting. And I saw that I was getting 200,000 impressions a week, just taking those videos that are coming out to Instagram, coming out to all these places, and also putting them on my personal LinkedIn. Previously, I had been using an automation to put them on a LinkedIn page, on a LinkedIn company page. Those videos did very poorly by comparison. Maybe it was because it was with an automation. Maybe it was because it was with a company page. I'm not sure, but like months before that, I saw that I'm getting 200,000 impressions a week on LinkedIn. I started posting manually to my LinkedIn, to my personal LinkedIn profile through my MacBook, just dragging the video from my desktop onto LinkedIn. All right, so I see them at 200,000 impressions, and I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? What? And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this 1 time a day. My friend did 5 times a day. And so I just started writing some stuff on LinkedIn and cross-posting everything that I'm putting on X onto LinkedIn and onto a Facebook page and onto Threads. And so now if I put one thing on X, it automatically comes out on LinkedIn, on a Facebook page, on Threads. And so I just start, like, filters come completely off. And I just start sharing anything that I think will help people on LinkedIn. And again, these cross posts to all these other places. And like at the beginning, it's so fun because it's new. So I'm posting like 10 times a day on LinkedIn. And I think LinkedIn, what happens is when you post a lot, you don't see the results immediately. You might see them like 2 or 3 weeks later.
I've seen that too. It's weird. Like the content doesn't get circulated for 2-3 weeks for some reason.
Yeah, it's a slow. It's a slow. I don't know the term that I'm looking for. It's like a slow hockey stick growth, kind of. And yeah, it's hockey stick. It's very slow at the beginning, then it just kind of goes whoop, just shoots up. And so I do that, and I'm growing at a healthy rate. I'm growing at a very healthy rate. I'm like I went from 200,000 to 300,000 to 400,000. I made it to 500,000. What? And then for a while, I just stayed around like 600,000 impressions per week. And I'm not posting 10 times anymore. I'm posting like 1 to 3 times a day. I'm doing a lot of text posts, and I'm also, again, cross-posting my videos. I'm also going back because with my automation, all of my videos are backed up to Google Drive. So I'm taking any video that performed well in the past, and I'm just, even if it's from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I'm posting it to LinkedIn. And so I'm posting lots of videos, lots of text posts, lots of image posts. And I think there's a multiplier. The more you post on LinkedIn, the more it's not linear. It like compounds. And you will just get more and more visibility on each post. And so now I'm up to like 1.2 million impressions a week on LinkedIn. This is insane. And so what had me start taking it seriously was just noticing that I was getting a lot more impressions. Oh, and so then I started sharing this, and I had friends reach out. They're like, I've been posting 1 time a day on LinkedIn or 2 times a day on LinkedIn. I got 80,000 impressions per week. Yeah, are you doing it?
So I have been watching you, and I can confirm great quality content. So I've been following you. You are constantly in the top of my feed. My plan for 2026 is, yes, I'm going to post every day, at least once or twice a day on all platforms, but I will try to look maybe now 2-3 times on LinkedIn, and we'll see how it goes.
Just cross post everywhere, and you got to maintain the daily consistency. And what's cool, I mean, we were just talking about this. These things rank. LinkedIn posts rank. Yes. X posts rank. All of this stuff ranks. Like,
it's great.
It's great. It's like the best. So you're growing a brand while doing SEO. And it's not with like skyscraper technique articles that take you weeks to write. It's like a post that takes you 5 minutes.
Or recycling your old content.
Recycling old content.
It's so easy. So if I could, I got one more follow-up then. Great to see that. Love that you're doing that. It's very inspiring to me. I appreciate that. What are you trying to do business-wise? Like, what are your goals for 2026?
Oh, my goals? I want to expand I'm doing so much work. I am grinding every day. I was talking about this yesterday with Jake Hundley. I need to it's not just getting a bigger team, it's hiring more intelligently. And here's an example. I had an editor at the beginning of this year for this podcast. Someone who had reached out to me like 5 times begging to edit my show. And before that, I didn't even need an editor because everything was so easy to edit. I was like, I wasn't putting in really graphics. Like, you can go to my podcast episodes from a year ago. There were like very few graphics in. It was just me speaking. And I didn't even put a lot of work into what I was going to talk about for the day. Whereas like now I spend like an hour trying to figure out what to talk about and writing an outline. And then like the edits take a long time. So I get an editor at the beginning of this year. This editor gets so inspired by my podcast that he's like, hey, like, I can't edit your podcast anymore. I want to do my own thing. Like this stuff is too inspiring to me, and I feel like I can do it now because I'm watching your show. And so I need to find a team of killers who don't want to be entrepreneurs. They would prefer to be entrepreneurs, like within an organization. And I know exactly the content that I'm going to make. Like, I know what I want to make. It's just getting the team together. So my goal for 2026, there's like 2 goals. One is to get the team together where all I have to do is show up in front of a phone or a computer, record, and like my work is done. And so I can, and even like I'll have someone who's helping me put together outlines. Like, the community is talking about this. They want you to talk about this. Here's some talking points. Go ahead, like something like that. So yeah, I want something like that, a team like that, where and I have clippers, and the content's not just coming out on my channel, it's coming out on all these other channels. And then the second thing that I want to do is I have a bunch of SaaS companies, but I want to do another SaaS company which I own 100% of the equity in, or maybe there's like a 10% like employee equity pool. I don't know. I have to think more about it and talk to other people. but I own most of the company, and it has just grown off of my method of SEO and social media growth and product iteration. And I'm not going to do it like, this is something that I talk about all the time. So guests will come on the show, and then we'll usually talk off camera afterwards about it. Like, I'm like, I'll say this to a lot of people. I'm like, you're so brilliant with SEO. Why are you doing an agency? You can make, like, you know what's up. You can make way more money with a product. Like, and it could be a lot easier. You don't have to deal with clients, and your team is already in place to do the marketing for it. And with vibe coding, like, you can make SaaS so easy. And so, like, this is a constant conversation that I have with guests who come on this show. And so then they're like, "Are you going to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." But I tell them I'm not going to do it in MarTech. I think, and like, no offense to the listeners who have like MarTech tools out there, but I think making something in MarTech, in marketing technology in 2025, is like so dumb, because it is the most competitive space. I'm going to go, and it's not that I'm not good and I can't deal in competitive spaces. It's just, obviously anyone wants something that's way easier. So it's like, why would you, like, if you don't have to play in the most competitive space, why would you do it? So I will make something in edtech. I've seen that fintech is also surprisingly pretty easy. Something where you don't, it'll be a product where you don't need a lot of regulation at the beginning. Obviously, if you get big enough, there's always going to be regulation and red tape, and you have to get through things like that. And and so this was, so a guest of the show came on and then sent me this afterwards when we were talking about this. He's like, "Dude, Mark Liu made," my God, I can't believe I'm saying this publicly. He told me, he's like, "Mark Liu literally made a web app where indie hackers will go and flex how much MRR their companies are making." I don't remember what it's called. It's like, you could just Google exactly what I said and it'll come up. And like, all these indie hackers who want to flex how much money they're making like idiots are going and showing their web apps on this thing, and it is verified. They connect their Stripe accounts, and the Mark Liu's app is verifying that they are making the amount of money that they are making publicly. Like, and so here you go. You go through this list of simple web apps that have decent MRR. You see the ones that have poor SEO. You go, "Oh, there you go. Like, let me make that and do the right SEO for it." It's like, and so he's like, he actually told me he's going to do that. This guy was telling me, he told me he's going to do that. And like, and so then you build out, you make the simple web app, you build out the bottom of funnel SEO landing pages for it, where like the people are searching, they know what they're looking for, they don't know the brand, they come across your web app, they go, "This is great," they use it on freemium, they go, "I want the extra features," they start paying for it, it's subscription based, they keep paying for it. Then more people come across the pages, they're like, "This is almost what I'm looking for. Can your web app do this? Can your SaaS do this?" And then a bunch of people request the same thing. You build that next. And now you have another feature to make bottom of funnel SEO landing pages for. Or you do what the founder of Twitch did. And on Justin.tv, who is co-founder of Justin.tv, a lot of people were streaming themselves playing video games on Justin.tv. And the co-founder of Justin.tv is like, "Why are you streaming yourself playing video games on like Justin.tv? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish?" They're like, "We are streaming ourselves playing video games because we want to make a living. We want to make money playing video games." And so this co-founder, Evan Shear, goes and makes Twitch specifically for people who want to live stream themselves playing video games with the intention of making money, and Twitch becomes a $1 billion company. Or so you do something like that, and you have more features to make bottom of funnel SEO landing pages on, and your SEO is popping off. You're reinvesting into other forms of marketing, so you're getting more branded searches and higher click-through rates. You're investing into social media and into a newsletter, into events, and all this stuff. And like, anyway, that's my 2026
Let's
plan.
go. I'll tell you
Let's
what,
go.
I'm pumped, man. Look at that energy.
Let's go.
So do you have like an idea, or it's just, that this exists?
I'm literally. Oh yeah. I mean, I've done things like this before, but not to the crazy degree which I just described. So Do I have an idea? I mean, I say I want to do something in edtech or fintech. I will definitely stay away from martech. I just believe that it's very dangerous to go into like for example, SEO tech. Like a lot of like I was out last night with a fan of the podcast, and I was telling him about this, and he was like, "So are you going to make something like an SEO tool or something? You know, you have like such a great SEO audience." And I said, "No way." No way. I don't want to compete in that market. I don't want to compete against Ahrefs and SEMrush. Why would I want to do that? Why would I like, no, 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 no. So I'm specifically going to go. Honestly, I think every other niche besides like SEO is just like really, because here's the thing. I just put this out on X and LinkedIn. In order to be a great SEO, you also have to be great at public relations. You have to be great at reputation management. You have to be very savvy. And so SEO isn't just competitive from an SEO perspective. It's competitive from lots of different perspectives because the best SEOs are multidisciplined. They're great at all sorts of things. So no, I don't know exactly what I want to do. I just know what I don't want to do.
Love that. That was very elegantly put, man.
What are your 2026 plans, Shaun?
Well, I told you. So Haley Marketing, they have their internal revenue goals. You know, I'm a big part of that, but I'm really trying to kind of take our SEO to the next level. Also, again, every single client is asking about, you know, what do you guys do for AIO? What does, you know, I want to see how we show up in AI in our reports. So we're really trying to make sure that we fix that and we can tell a really good story to all the clients going forward on that side. And then me personally on the Shaun Savvy side, my goal for 2026 is to get to 30 clients. Hopefully it's 10 more wedding venues. So if you see this and you're a wedding venue, hit me up. But if I reach that goal and I can figure out my Haley Marketing side, I'll be able to sleep at night.
What are you telling when potential clients are asking you about like what are you doing for geo? Because this is like something that like every SEO agency faces. So, like what are you doing for geo? Like what do you tell them?
So it's just like it's what you said. It's all about PR. So first of all, it starts with your foundational SEO. If I get to your homepage, you know, are you taking people through a journey? Do you have service lines? Are you serving location page? Are you serving locations or geos? Do you have pages for those? If not, you have to start there. If you have no foundation, GEO is not even going to matter. Google, nobody knows who you are. If people visit your website, if crawlers, if people, if humans, if LLMs visit your site, they're not going to get to the secondary pages and they're not going to get to the blog content that answers their questions. So you're never going to rank in GEO. So start there. Once you have that, then you have to do, I always say every homepage should have who you are, what you do, where you do it, and then proof that you do it well is the last part. And that is really what influences GEO, AEO, all of those. And so, you know, do you have press releases? Are you featured in best of list? Are you actively trying to get featured in listicles? Are you writing your own listicles? Stuff like that is really what we're pushing our clients into. And then from there, if they have, if they're doing social media content, I always tell them and guide them into that as well. So answer your questions in YouTube videos, in LinkedIn posts, share them on your various socials, and that'll kind of get you there. As long as you do all of that, all of those things.
You know what else is really important? Responding to comments.
Of course.
That's like, so I actually, this is like a little hack that I have on LinkedIn that I didn't mention earlier. Because I post so much, I get a lot of comments. I get a ton of comments. So I made, instead of like, you know, on Chrome, you probably have your bookmarks at the top. So I have a LinkedIn bookmark, as does I think probably many people, but it doesn't take me to the LinkedIn homepage and it doesn't take me to my general notifications. It takes me to specifically comments on my post, which you can set. You can set specifically when you click the bookmark to go to comments on your post. So I don't get distracted by the feed. I don't get distracted by meaningless notifications. I only see comments that I need to respond to. And when you respond to comments, it makes your post do a lot better. And
I love that.
Also, I think engagement also makes posts perform. I think engagement and like account history makes posts perform better in SERPs, makes social posts perform better in SERPs.
Agreed.
What are you when you're telling your clients to do social, what are you telling them?
So if you purchase it's called Social Pro through Haley Marketing. We do 16 posts for you. It's usually coming from the company page. And we always strongly recommend, if you have recruiters internally, if you have your CEO or your C-suite team engaged, you guys should also be sharing these posts, making your own post to kind of bring it full circle, to bring everything together. If you're just only relying on your company page to grow on LinkedIn, it's probably not going to work. As you said too, it's really tough for some reason. Most of the pages or most of the company pages get suppressed nowadays. No matter,
dude, let me tell you what happened. I had guests come on the show recently, and they shared because afterwards I tell the guests, like, share the links with me that you want in the description. This was a while ago, and so they shared all of their links, and their links were all company pages, like their Instagram, their LinkedIn, and I'm just like, all right, and I've shared it, but in my mind I'm like, what are they doing? Like, no one cares about like what a company page is posting.
Not at all.
I mean, a company pages get some followers, but it's so much harder. You are just making things so much harder for yourself.
The only way to do it,
like, I guess everyone wants an agency that they can sell, and it's hard if that's tied to a personal brand. So I don't know. There is like a trade-off.
The only way to make it work is you have to build an entire campaign around it. Like, say you're a recruiting firm and you do travel nursing jobs. You need to train your audience to bell your page and say, if you're looking for travel nursing jobs, we are your resource. And so then, they log in to go to LinkedIn and to your page for that thing. Or if if you specialize in vacuum reviews, we have, a Twitter page that is exclusively about this. Hit the bell and you'll learn about it. So if you're not doing stuff like that, where you're training people to go for a specific thing, yeah, it's pretty much never going to work. No one goes to your...
Yeah, there's no problem sharing company. Like, yeah, actually there is. Share your website, and don't share your website. Like, if you're going on podcasts, share the website that you want to get links to, and then share your personal pages, because
Exactly.
you are the personality who just went on the podcast. Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Dude, you're a lot of fun. Have you been doing any other are there any other SEO things that you're excited about? Not just like personal company things, like SEO things that you're excited about right now that you've been learning about that have been like, whoa, wow, this is wild. What's going to happen?
I'm really obsessed with figuring out how to get referenced on ChatGPT, on Perplexity. And it's wild to me that the answers that
you've been doing it. You've been doing it, right?
I have been. Yeah. But it's just, it's wild to me that the answers vary so much. And, you say things to chat and it just lies. You'll ask like, hey, who are the top 10, whatever in this market? You get your answers. And then you're like, hey, my client didn't show up. What went into making this top 10 list? And they'll say it. And then I'll be like, well,
you can't even ask it that, because it doesn't know. So like, if you ask it, what did you search to get your answer? It'll tell you what it think it searched. But then when you actually go and look at the query fan out, it's not what it said. Yeah.
I know. It's why it just lies to you at scale.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, but like, when you are seeing successes within ChatGPT, what are you doing?
Again, it's a lot of listicles. It's a lot of it's PR, it's press releases. I like your hacks, and you've been talking about doing the fake things where it makes it look like you won. They were named the winner of XYZ. We are testing that.
Oh yeah.
So
that's funny. I mean, Glenn Alsop shares that too. Did you see his Yeah, you're shaking your head.
Yes,
so you saw. Yeah. So in that article, he's like, ChatGPT is also citing, if you won an award and you make a blog post about how you won this award, like X industry company names our company the best, furniture SEO company for 2026 or 2025 or like whatever. And you share you make blog posts sharing these awards, and these are also performing well within LLMs.
It's like the Wild Wild West. It reminds me of like SEO in 2010, when you can just keyword stuff and spam comments across the internet, and you would get wins. I feel like that's kind of is what's happening now in the ChatGPT world. And it's like, is there going to be a ChatGPT
I
algorithm
don't.
update?
I would challenge you a little bit on the keyword stuffing. Um, and I think trying to optimize for ChatGPT is like, because the thing is, like, the things that work best, if we are talking about what actually works best for LLMs, I would make the argument that it's the stuff that was working best for SEO all along. It's like, okay, if you put out a press release and that press release is like naming you like the best so and so, and then this gets picked up by an LLM that is searching Google and finds this press release at the top of Google, well, that's an SEO win that you could have been doing this whole time. Why didn't you do that? It's like, oh my God, having good reviews is leading to like you performing well, and having good external reviews is leading to you performing well within LLMs. It's like, this is why a lot of people don't like the term geo.
Yes.
And I don't know about keyword stuffing though. I will say keyword stuffing is relevant in some places. Keyword stuffing on LinkedIn works very well. But like, I mean, would you keyword stuff on a blog post for an LLM?
I just mean it was no. I'm talking like back then. It was easier to rank. It was
Oh yeah.
just like low quality content.
Let me ask you this: do you think there are spammy tactics that are working well for I guess like putting up a press release naming yourself the best so and so thing?
Definitely one.
But the thing is, like, yeah, that's spammy. But like, you could have been doing that for SEO and you probably were not going to get in trouble. So it's like,
I mean, I don't know if it's spammy, but I really do like, every time I say this to business owners who don't really have a lot of background or knowledge in SEO, it usually blows their minds. I call it free SEO, but if you're trying to rank for something and you Google it and you see that, Yelp is there and Reddit is there and a Facebook group is there, it's like, if you want to rank for this, then get on those 3 lists, and you've now hacked your way into page 1 of Google. And I feel like I've said
how
that
are you
for
getting
years.
how are you getting on those lists?
So like I had a farm client a while ago, and if you typed in CSA near me and they were in Arkansas, the number one thing that showed up, it was like seed to table or something. And it was just a free, it was a free list website about just listing farms and what they offer. And we created an account, put it there. And now when you searched it, they were only one of 3 farms in Arkansas. So they were literally the number 1 answer now. If you clicked it, It opened up the page and there were 1 of 3 there.
Wow. But yeah, how about like something like Reddit? Like, how would you do that?
Well, obviously if the, if it's closed, you can't do it. But if it's a relatively new Reddit post and you can comment on
it, you can get up votes for the comment.
Yeah. At Haley Marketing, we have a client that, one of the really, it's an e-commerce client, and they sell caps. And if you search for some of the really high competitive keywords that we pay a lot of money for on Google, Reddit is number 2, shows up, you click, and we made comments a year ago, it's closed, and we're getting sales from that a year later.
Oh man. Actually, last night, the fan that I was out with does a lot of Reddit stuff. And this fan said Reddit makes up so much of this person's sales. There's like a lot of, and this person now, the person has many accounts and is using a bunch of different IP addresses and virtual machines, and it's gotten very sophisticated. Yeah. But the interesting thing about it is like, so Barry Schwartz, he was on the show a couple of days ago, and this is something that he told me back in March, actually. The first time he came on the show was in March. And he said to me, he's like, there's always different parasite plays. Like, I personally am hesitant about like investing a lot into something like Reddit, because it used to be Yahoo Answers. It used to be WikiHow. Like it used to be, Quora. And like lots of SEOs went invested, and it's like, here's the thing, you could have gone and put the same time and effort into building up the domain authority of your site, the topical authority of your site, putting up bottom of funnel SEO landing pages, and those pages would still be ranking number 1 today, even though the parasite properties were not getting prioritized in the SERPs anymore. That's like why I love traditional SEO so much.
I agree too, but I also, you don't
But
necessarily,
clients are want it, and you got to give them what they want.
but you don't necessarily have to invest too. You got to think of like there's small scale opportunities. Like if you just opened a bakery in a small town, and you searched best cupcakes in wherever, and it shows up, like that's not really an investment. That's just, maybe you want to try to own, pies near me, and like maybe choose 10 keywords and just do those searches.
That's different than what I'm talking about. I'm more so talking about like the fan that I was out with who spent a lot of
that's
time
an investment.
getting these accounts, acquiring these accounts, developing these accounts, like having the right infrastructure to make the accounts not have like device fingerprints and all these things. And then like getting karma farming for the accounts. That's an investment.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so like in my mind, I'm like, man, that's just a very misaligned, like it's working now. Cool. But it is a misaligned placement of effort. That's like, I mean, look, I've done this show, like you were saying, this is 901 days in a row doing this podcast, and I get recognized. Like I get recognized on the street. I got recognized at the gym. I get like the trainers at my gym follow me because I came into their FYPs randomly, and like they always see me in the gym, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's like Edward." And like I didn't even know that until like one of them moved into my building, and then DM'd me on Instagram, and I saw that this trainer was following me, and like, how did this trainer find me? Okay, I came into his FYP, and but like, what did I do? I just did it every day, and it was very slow at first, and now I have all of these assets across all, and other assets took way longer to take off. LinkedIn. I struggled with LinkedIn for years. I saw my peers doing really well on LinkedIn while I was completely floundering on LinkedIn for years. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It turned out that I was posting on a company page and probably posting with like probably using a third-party tool to auto post was harming me as well. And it's like, now I have like LinkedIn is this crazy asset for me. So I am obsessed with like there are cool short-term wins. For example, what you shared about changing the date where it takes 5 seconds, that is a super cool and very interesting short-term win. Reddit, when it's easy, that is another cool short-term win. When Reddit is easy, that is another cool short-term win. But like the greatest results, the most mind-blowing results happen when you just pick one thing, you stick through the plateaus, and you go at it for years and years and years and years. And you can go back and see my awful videos from 2 years ago, from 3 years ago. You can see my awful podcast from 2 years ago where I'm talking about a variety of different things, not just SEO. And that's like, anyone can do like Jake Hundley. I said to him, like, you have the craziest TAM. Like, man, like you as well, Shaun. You have like weddings. Oh my God. SEO for weddings. Oh my God. Yeah. Like you could dominate your industry. Cause how many other SEO agencies are niching down to weddings?
So it's funny. So from what I can see, I think it's 3, and 2 of them got hit really big from 2022 through 2024. So they were crushing, and now they're at the bottom. So I don't know what they were doing, but the most recent
probably
updates,
not good stuff.
Yeah,
probably not good stuff. So but that's what I'm saying. You play the long game. And the industry. I'm sure that industry is not crazy competitive. SEO for wedding venues.
No, and I play the kind of discount angle. So I don't charge as much. I'm a resource for wedding venues. This is my side hustle. I do this 5 to 9, I do it on weekends. I really just want to empower wedding venues to kind of learn marketing. They don't realize that,
How did you get into wedding venues specifically? You had a great wedding and you talked to the owner and you're like, your SEO is garbage. What are you doing?
kind of a long story, but I had in 2019, I was operations manager for these two guys, these two entrepreneurs. They owned a suite of 6 Shopify stores. We were doing around 12 million a year. And I wore all the hats. It was just me. They sold the brands. And the one guy decided to turn his property, which was out in the country, into a farm/wedding venue. And so that included a butcher shop where he would sell meat, chicken, things like that online. And so he hit me up. He said, "Hey, Shaun, I know you know ecom. I know you know ads. Can you help me do this?" And so we started Facebook ads, Google ads for that. He slowly built out his property into a wedding venue. He hired a wedding sales consultant to kind of teach him how to do everything, to kind of craft the offer, to, pretty much do everything. And a couple months in, I started running Facebook ads for him on Facebook. We did the Google ads. We worked on his CRO. And again, within 2 months, the woman that he hired was like, "Hey, who's doing your front end? Because you're getting a lot more leads than a lot of my other clients." So he made the intro, started talking to her. And that's pretty much how I've grown Shaun Savvy on the side, is a lot of her referrals that blossomed into other relationships with other sales folks who also do referrals. And that's just kind of how I accidentally fell into it.
Shaun, I'm hyped for you. I think you're going to kill it over the next year. And I'm really grateful that you came on the show and shared these findings. They're very interesting.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Keep doing your thing too. I know you're going to crush and grow exponentially faster than I am, but I can only hope to get to where you are.
Well, I've laid the groundwork for years, which, I mean, yeah, I just doing the same thing over and over again for years, really, like every day is like, but like, you just have to, once you know exactly what you want to do, that's why I like, by the way, that you said, I'm doing SEO for wedding venues, because when you know exactly what you want to do, it is never easier to get results. Yeah, that's why I thought that was cool. Where should everybody follow you?
I'm on LinkedIn. You can hit me up, LinkedIn/in/Shaun Savvy. If you, for some reason, are in the staffing industry and you're looking for marketing help, you can email me, schojnacki@haleymarketing.com. I'd be happy to do a website audit or talk to you on that front. And again, ShaunSavvy.com for wedding venue or SEO related stuff. Thanks again, Edward. Awesome. I really appreciate you, man.
Awesome. And yeah, your links will be in the description for this episode. This is episode 901 of The Edward Show. This is my daily digital marketing podcast. 901 crazy days in a row doing this show without missing any days. Like you said, Shaun. Shaun, you watch as well. You listen too. So thank you. I mean, thank you for watching and listening, and thank you for coming on the show. This was a very fun one. But for everybody at home, or in the car, or in the kitchen, doing anything, who's listening, who's watching, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.